Hey guys, it's me, Brother Wild Bill, coming to you from inside the worst prison in the Western Hemisphere. It's called La Mega Joya. I'm in a place called Sector C. Sector C. Anyway, so our Christmas is pretty tough, and I wanted to go through a couple of reasons why. This is the photo in this thing is my evening time view from my penthouse apartment here in hell. And it is a penthouse apartment. I'm on the top floor, and only the super important motherfuckers get to be there. So whoopazing pow, that's me. Okay. Anyway, so here's a couple of things that have happened recently. They're causing extreme problems. The first thing that happened was, I think on Saturday or Friday last week, they no, it was earlier than that. It was like in the first part of the week, Tuesday or Wednesday. They killed on the outside of the prison, in the street. They killed a police captain. Now that's a pretty rare thing, and it went down like this. Some guy, I know who it was, but I won't say. A guy from inside prison here, not exactly where I am, but in another sector, in Sector B, called the outside and gave an order to murder some gangbanger. For I don't know what reason. I don't know why. But it's just a very normal thing, right? So they kill people here. This is how it works. One guy gets on a motorcycle, and another guy gets on the back of the motorcycle. And the one guy drives, and the other guy has like a Mac 10 or an Uzi or something like that. Like a small submachine gun. And they pull up in front of your house, and and then they wear your ass out with it, or they find you in traffic and empty the thing into you while you're driving down the road. So they go into what's called an urbanización, which is like a housing development here. But these housing developments are like enormous. Thousands and thousands of people live in them, and they're just slums is what they are. And at the mouth of each one, there's a tiny police department that has usually 3 or 4 people. I don't know what the fuck a police captain was even doing in one of those. So anyway, the guys go into the housing development, drive down, find the mark, kill him. They empty the Uzi into him, and then they come out. But the police captain, the police officers, there had to be 2 or 3 of them, heard. I saw the video of this. It was on TV actually. That the police heard the shooting, so they barricaded the entrance, and the police captain was standing in front of the entrance. On the way out, I guess the guy just kind of got antsy or whatever, and the police captain held up his hand like, "Stop! We want to talk to you." And the guy on the back just put 8 or 10 bullets into his chest, and he felt like a sack of hamburger, plop, on the ground, dead. And so they ride on out. Looking at the video, it looked like to me like it was pretty gratuitous in the fact that if they just drove on around him, they wouldn't have had to kill him. The captain never went for his pistol or anything like that. And anyway, so that's a fucking problem. I don't know what you know about things, but a police captain being killed is a problem. So they immediately begin arresting people. They got like 12 people in custody for that one murder. Anybody that even knew the motherfuckers are getting arrested. And the guy who did the killing was as a minor. He's like 16 years old, so he won't do but about 10 years because they give them shorter sentences here. Anyway, how does that affect the prison? Well, it affects the prison, one, because the order came from prison. So thankfully, I dodged a bullet and they wanted to bring the guy to my cell block. I'm like, no. And I didn't have to act. The other boys acted and said no, and they blocked that because we don't want nobody that fucking hot living in here. There's just going to be searches all the time because of that shit. So they took him to the 3-1. Today, in my cell block is the 2-1. There's 3 buildings. Pavilions, cell blocks, or building 1, 2, and 3, and then there are 3 cell blocks in each building. So there's 9 cell blocks in Sector C. I don't know if this shit's interesting to you or not, but it might be. Anyway, so today the boys in Sector B, Baghdad, the biggest gang in Panama, got together and threw a little package of drugs and cell phones, 3 cell phones and a quarter pound of marijuana. And rolling papers and cigarette lighters and shit like that. A small package, it's not very big. Over the fence, and the cops saw it. And the cops went and picked it up, and it went right in front of the 3-1. So they searched the 301 about 10:30 this morning. It was a normal day until about 10:30. Then everything got locked down about lunchtime, and they went and searched cell block 301, and they took a fucking Starlink out. I didn't even know that there was. That's something. I'm like, I'm surprised. That's something. I didn't even know there was a Starlink antenna in 301, but they took the last Starlink antenna out of Sector C. Sector C doesn't, to my knowledge, they don't have one. But I don't know because I didn't know that this one was even there. But the guys had it fixed up in an ingenious way. They took two solar panels and like gutted them. Took all the guts out of the solar panels and put the Starlink in between the two panels and then like screwed it together, and it looked just like a solar panel on the outside, which is we're allowed to have. We're allowed to have solar panels to charge like the radio and charge a battery operated fan, shit like that. So I thought that was pretty slick, but I don't know how it got busted. Maybe somebody ratted even, because that was I don't like looking at it. You could look right at it and not know that it was a Starlink, but anyway, they did. It got busted. So that's the happenings that are happening here. I don't know if tomorrow's a normal day or not, but the cocksucker cops have canceled our Christmas dinner because of the cop that got killed on the outside. Like, what the fuck do I have to do with a cop getting killed on the outside or anybody else? I mean, like the people who were involved in it, fuck them. Don't fuck us all. What? And they do that here in Panama. They this collective punishment shit. But collective punishment is like the most ridiculous and anti-productive thing, and like the opposite of making people behave. It's, because like if you behave well, you're going to get punished. If you behave poorly, you're going to get punished. You're going to get punished no matter what you do. So there's absolutely no incentive whatsoever to obey any rule in a Panamanian prison, because they're going to run their cock up your ass no matter what you do. Anyway, that's the life in prison here. Being closed in, like I'm out all day, and I'm kind of pampered because the other boys are not. They're only out an hour and a half a day, so they're locked in 22 and a half hours. But there's always somebody kind of walking around in the patio, I mean, like, even when you're locked in, people come by and like, hey, what's up? What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Or they play cards through the door, or play checkers through the door, shit like that. So you're not really alone even when you're locked in. But on a day like today, you are. And so I got locked in, I was out. Every time the food came, I have to go. And so like I was only locked in a couple hours, but even being locked in a couple hours, I feel it again, I can feel it like fuck, and you feel, and these guys, I've been 6 years here, man, 6 years and 6 months in this shit, and 6 years and 4 months, excuse me, in this shit, and you just get like so tired of it. I can't even begin to tell you how much. Anyway, and the solitary of it, like, wear on you, it wears on me at least, and there's a certain, in Spanish they say desesperación, like there's a certain impatience or a certain anxiety of being locked into a box with nobody to talk to and nothing but your thoughts. Sometimes it's a blessing. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Oh, excuse me, I'm sleepy. And sometimes it fucking ain't no blessing either. Sometimes it's just hell on earth. I mean, like you're fighting with your own mind, trying to keep your shit together. That's not easy. And then like you're out, they open the door, you're out, in like 3 minutes you're normal again. Just like walking around 3 minutes, you're fine. But that solitary, I think that's the worst form of punishment that exists, really. Anyway, I want to fuck all the pretty girls. My name's Holbert.